Welcome to episode 3 of the Tough Draw Talks podcast. I'm your host, Brad Hughes. For these first couple episodes, we've been lucky enough to be able to have a booth here at the Fort Worth Convention Center, courtesy of the Lane Frost brand. I've explained how big of a fan I am of the sport of rodeo and this community, but today I'm excited to do a little crossover sports as well. Appreciate you being along for the ride. With today's episode, we talk all things roping, pitching, and globe life with not only a southpaw stud for the Texas Rangers, but also a man that's got some deep ties to the roping world, Taylor Hearn. I just recently got connected with Taylor, but I feel like this is going to be a great time. Taylor, thanks for being here, man. You just came over here from the ballpark, right?
Yeah, I did actually. Man, I appreciate you having me on here. And, we had literally just got done working out probably about 2 hours ago.
How'd that go?
It was good. You know, we a lot of guys we've been buying in. Everybody's been getting better. We're starting to throw a lot more, starting to throw every day, me as well. But, yeah, I mean, man, everybody's just getting ready for the season. We're excited. Everybody's itching to kind of get back at it because, you know, the 60 game that we played was fun. But, you know, everybody, you want to play more games. Yeah. So, you know, you want to get that full experience again and, you know, just missing baseball.
Definitely, man, definitely. Well, thank you for being here. Let's get this kicked off. If you could meet one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
The one person I'd want to meet is Muhammad Ali.
Why?
So I've been it's tough because it'd be like him or Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I read a lot of their books, and funny thing is also my grandpa, that's the rodeo legend. He they put on a rodeo in Harlem, New York, I think it was Harlem. And so Muhammad Ali was there, and he got a chance to meet him and everything.
That's amazing.
And so he's met him before as well. But I've always been a fan of him. You know,
Okay.
you got to admit he's one of the fiercest competitors probably to ever do anything. So to be able to meet him would be awesome. Pick his brain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you, man. So if you could pick one thing to be the best at, what would it be?
Baseball.
Baseball
For sure. Baseball would be first, and rodeo would be second for sure. But I mean, it was like that anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I kind of leave that type of stuff up to the critics, or not just the critics, but also just like the people that are the debaters, you know, you see on TV and stuff.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just more so my philosophy is more so just like using my talent to the best of his ability and get the most out of it. Because I know that, you know, with God bless me with this talent as well, I want to use it. So that'd be my biggest thing, just try to use it the best I can and get as many accolades. And the biggest thing is try to be in the Hall of Fame.
Heck yeah, man. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So as an athlete and just as a person, what makes you tick?
It's hard. It's hard because there's a lot of stuff that really doesn't make me tick. I mean, probably the biggest thing is people driving down the road with their blinker on and not getting over. That's the big. That's one thing. That's one that will definitely
pet peeve, huh?
Oh, big one.
Yeah,
big one.
Yeah. Well, for sports, what gets you amped up? Are you the type of guy that, you know, you got to be in the, especially with pitching? I know it's a little different because you only trot out there every 5 days or so, but you know, for you, are you the type that sits there and kind of stews and just meditates, or are you the type that has to just kind of make things as normal as possible, or what do you do?
So I've never been somebody that was like just like the snoozing type, but I was always somebody that I get hyped up to music. So like my pregame routine would be me coming in there doing squats before I go out and throw. I do a lot of, you know, I basically get like a workout in before I throw. So I'm a big music guy, but yeah, I'm like listening to, you know, old school rap and stuff like that, just like pump up music. So like it doesn't really take that much for me to get hyped up, really.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. That's great. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Oh, man. That's a tough one.
You said you didn't want to review the questions before we started.
Right,
so.
right. That's good. No, that's good. Because I don't honestly though, I don't like. I like doing interviews or, you know, whatever it is, like blind, because like I you know, that's how life is. Like, you know, we're not going to be able to predict it. So probably the best compliment, one of the best compliments I've ever got, was when I made my major league debut, and after what happened, being injured, just hearing my parents say they were proud of me. That was because, we had been through a lot just to get to that point, and I had been through a lot as well. But I felt so bad because of what happened. And just to hear my parents say that they were both proud of me was just the icing on the cake. Nothing can ever top that.
So what had happened?
So I had been dealing with an arm injury for probably about a week or two prior. And so it's the ligament that they use for Tommy John.
Yep.
So I was messing with that a little bit. It was bothering me. I thought I had it under control. And then I go in there and we're playing in Seattle. And first game of the debut, I walked like the first like three or four guys. And so I recorded one out and then came out of the game. We ended up losing the game like 11-1. And I'm sitting there in my locker and I'm just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Just my arm was in pain. And so that was something that just stuck with me, because you felt bad because you're like, I really worked so hard to get to this point. And it's like I get here and then I got hurt. And it's like, out of my control. So that was a tough one.
Man. And I hate to hear that. Let's do something a little easier here. What's your favorite movie?
Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah, I can watch that movie all day.
That's a funny movie. Martin Lawrence cracks me up, man.
Yeah.
All right, so 2020 NFR this year. What's your bold prediction? Do you have a bold prediction?
Stetson will win the bull run.
Right.
And then, he's number one in the world, but it's hard not to root against my guys, Shad Mayfield, to win it all. So, it'd be huge.
You think Marty's going to catch him, or you got
Marty's
Shad?
getting close.
Yeah,
Marty's getting close.
Marty's
He's getting real close.
Yeah.
He is getting real close.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got what? They got what, about four or five rounds?
5 more rounds.
5 more rounds left?
We're halfway.
So, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, it's weird, but like I'm pulling for Shad as well. I'm pulling for Corey, Shane as well, and Timber. Yeah. But I don't know. I just got the competitive attitude in me. Yeah. So if anything, I would like to see Marty continue getting closer because I feel like that would be pretty
put the pressure on.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I know I just know knowing Shad, like he's a fierce competitor, obviously, because he wouldn't be number one in the world.
Oh yeah.
But just as me as well, like I would see that. It's all over the social media. It's all over, and it. He's catching you, so it's kind of like, all right, like he's trying to catch me, so let me go ahead and continue stepping my game up.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Well, awesome, man. Again, we are at the Cowboy Christmas at 2020 Wrangler NFR with Taylor Hearn. So Taylor, let's talk a little bit about your backstory. So you're local kid, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grew up in East Texas. Grew up in Roar City, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about your background. What was first love? Rodeo, baseball?
Rodeo.
Okay.
It was the first thing I ever did was got through on a horse, and that was the first thing before a bat, ball, football, basketball, whatever it is.
Very cool. Very cool. And so growing up, did you rodeo? And I know didn't your dad rodeo and your uncle?
Did. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, they do. My grandpa did as well. But dude, that was going as far north as like North and South Dakota, Wyoming. Just been all over. Arkansas, Nebraska, and all over Texas. Some of the smallest towns in Texas.
Yeah. So if you started out on a horse and with a rope in your hand, how did you transition to baseball? Or how did that love start?
So it was growing up, it was rodeo, baseball, a little bit of basketball, mainly football. And so just growing up as well, but then realizing that me being a guy, like how hard I was throwing at such a young age, I was like, I started to see that possibly do this for a living.
Yeah.
And then I really had that good talk with my dad one day and a bunch of times. And I was just, he had let me know about the rodeo life and everything, but I had also experienced it. But then just seeing that guys that do this for 15, 20 years rodeo, they end up having to get a job afterwards.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't, it's hard to make a living out of this. So that was also something that pushed me to baseball. But it was just, I don't know, baseball was just fun. Yeah. Baseball was really fun. And it was weird. I had a weird thrill about striking people out. So,
yeah.
So, one thing, it was that. So, when I was about 14 or 15. Yeah, 14, 15 is when I continued getting more serious about baseball, and that's when I put the rope down a little bit. It hurt.
Yeah.
But I needed to because, I was at that point to where, like, it's going to play
kind
in
of
front
a critical
of
point.
Yeah, playing in front of schools. Yeah, playing
in
front of schools and then pro scouts as well. So it's kind of like, he was like, you're going to rope or you're gonna play baseball. Yeah. And I was like, I gotta do more lessons and all that because I gotta keep up.
Heck yeah.
So if it was one thing, it was definitely baseball.
Very cool, man. Very cool. How did the two compare for you as far as, because with you're a pitcher in baseball, so you throw the ball a lot. Throwing your rope. I know you pitch left-handed, rope right-handed. So what are some of the similarities or I know with athletes there's different things, muscle memory, like you were saying, some of the advantages you saw early on being able to throw so hard. Was there some crossover between some of the things you were doing roping?
It was a good amount, very good amount. Like I said, as I got older, I started realizing how much rodeo played into baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball and rodeo are so similar, like people don't really understand it, that coming from a guy to where we would always be in the roping pen practicing roping calves, and then we sit there and go to ropings and stuff like that. You can sit there and rope 100 calves every weekend or every day almost, and then you go out there and miss one and cost you a lot of money. It's the same thing in baseball. It's like you can sit there and put all the time and throw in the bullpen and getting your pitches right and everything, but when come game time, the chances of everything working that day is very slim.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of similarities. Definitely, when stuff like that happens, definitely short-term memory. Short-term memory is the biggest thing I learned from that, and just having a competitive mindset, but knowing that when I go to ropings and stuff, this is gonna be there's over 100, 200 people at these things, so it's like I gotta play my game and do what I gotta do to try to tie fast calves and try to just get down the rope and try to just win money.
Yeah.
Same thing with baseball. Come through the minor leagues, you're going to be facing guys from all over the country, all over the state, guys you've seen play on TV and stuff like that. Then, then you get in the major leagues, over here facing Mike Trout, Albert Pujols. You know what I'm saying? Like you're seeing those guys. So it's like, that's equivalent to, almost like going from junior high rodeos to the high school rodeos, then you're in the PRCA, and then you're in pro rodeos and stuff like that. Then you make to the finals. You run up against guys like Corey Solomon, then run up against young guys like Chad, and So it's like that. It's very, very, very similar.
Very cool. How did the rodeo life, like being raised? You and I've talked about this some, but being raised in the community of rodeo, how did that impact you as a man?
A lot. It brought a different side of me, different like competitive edge. It brought that very, very fierce competitor out of me because for a fact you can't go in there and try to rope and be all aggressive, and then you'll run down the rope or just whatever it is, be out of whack. Mm-hmm. So it really taught me a good balance of just running my race, running the same pace, and more so, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like having a calm attitude about it. Yeah. Everybody, it works different for everybody.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just more so being the same person on and off the field, and the same thing, being the same person on and off the roping pin as well.
Yeah. So, what was your reaction when you were traded from Pittsburgh, right?
I got traded twice, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
What was your reaction of being traded back home, like being closer to home? Because I know a lot of ball players. I hear a lot of ball players handle it very different.
Yeah.
Some of them don't like it. Some of them are like the pressure, they can't handle it. For you, growing up in a rodeo family, And with the way that rodeo is, I would assume that the pressure wasn't a big deal for you. But how did that play out?
You know what? To be honest with you, okay. So start off from the beginning. Me and my dad were sitting in our in their living room. This happened to be the year of the trade. So me and him are sitting in the living room. We're talking about it, and he asked me. He said, "Would you ever?" He said, "What would it take for you to come back and play for the Rangers?" And I'm like, "Dad, I'm gonna be honest with you." I was like, if a trade happens, that'd be cool. But I remember just sitting there telling him, I'm like, I wouldn't want to come back to Texas until it was like the end of my career.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I were to sign with them or whatever it is at that time when I become a free agent, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If I felt like the place was right. And so, and then of course then the trade happens and everything. But like I'm no joke, the first thing that came up in my mind was that I get to sleep in my own bed in the off season. Once the season's over, I don't have to drive back to Texas, and it's like I can be able to do the stuff I want to do here.
Yeah.
And it's like I know everything here. I know where a lot of stuff is. So it's like, it was a very good blessing in the skies. I wasn't expecting it, but I was just very thankful. I was so thankful.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I heard I was listening to ESPN radio, and I heard them talk about you, and they brought up that you had made a tweet about, with the way 2020's going, might as well pick up my rope. And that's when I did a little digging, because I knew who you were, and I knew you were a part of I think it was the Keona Kella deal, right?
Yeah.
So I knew you were a part of that deal, and I knew we were all Rangers fans were excited to have you here, but then I heard that and I was like, I need to do a little more on that. So, but that's crazy. What has 2020 been like for you?
You know what? If 2020 has been a crazy and a good year, like it's been a lot of good blessings that have been coming out of 2020. It's been a trying testing year, just with a lot of stuff that's been going on. But I was 100% serious about that too. Like I was serious. Like I had called my dad and I told him, I said, hey, I got some ropes. I was like, I know you got some. I was like, let's dust off the rope cans. I was like, either you gonna go with me, or I was like, I will go rope by myself. I was like, because I need to do something. Yeah. And he's like, you serious? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm very serious. I was like, and word had got around the league that we weren't gonna play this year.
Yeah.
So, what a lot of people don't know is that there was a bunch of guys that were ex-hoopers that started hooping.
Yeah.
And I called them and talked to them. They're like, bro, if we ain't playing this year, I'm going back to go hoop. I'm going to go doing these rec leagues and everything. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so y'all really going to make me bust out the ropes. I was like, all right, cool.
So I'm going to go rope.
Yeah. So I was like, I called my uncle. I told him, I said, hey, I called a bunch of people that we know, asked them if they had some practice calves and stuff. Because I was like, I'm going to use my uncle's horse. And I said, I'm going to go rope. And I said, I'm going to go to some jackpots and ropings. I said, I need to do something. I was like, I'm not going to just come back and start working out and everything and not be doing nothing, for the whole year. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to go do something.
Yeah. No, that's funny, man.
Yeah. A lot of people I was playing about. I was like, no, I was 100% serious.
That's the thing. I started doing some digging, and I was like, no, he's legit. He's serious. He ain't playing. Man, that's cool. So, all right. So for visualization, give me some words and just kind of paint this picture, right? Okay, so backing in the box for a run versus stepping to the mound. What's going through your mind? What's going through your mind with each? Is it similar? Is it completely different?
Very similar. Very similar.
Talk about that.
It's having a calm attitude, but more so just breathing. So when I used to, my biggest thing was whenever I feel my horse hit the corner of the box, I would sit there just for like a second or so and just take like a big deep breath and then nod and then go.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing as pitching, where it's like in between pitches, I walk around the mound, take a deep breath or whatever it is, or breathing, basically taking my time.
Yeah.
So like it's very similar. you joke about it, but like it was serious. Like I mean, I felt like I was like, oh, you know, at times during the games, I was just like breathing and just thinking, you know, same thing.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. When I think about it, I just get this cool visualization. And
I'm with you on it. I'm with you on it. I think the same thing.
Probably gonna have to do a short film about that or something.
Oh yeah.
What are your goals moving forward, professionally, personally? Is rodeo in the future?
Oh, rodeo is 100% in the future. I've made that very clear.
Yeah.
Like once I'm on the tail end of my career and everything, I'm gonna have everything already set up to when, like, once I get done, people are like, what are you gonna do post retirement? I'm like, I gotta go practice. Like, I'm good. You know, because like, I mean, I'm just very thankful that I was able to get blessed to be in a family that roped and did that stuff. Because, you know, I mean, it's when you hear about guys that played professionally in sports, you know, the biggest thing everybody hears is like, you know, they struggle with life after. And with me, like, I'm already got stuff set up as well and working on things as well where it's like, I'm going to jump right into stuff, you know, because I know for a fact there's life after baseball. I know for a fact like that. And I know baseball's not going to be a sport that I'm going to sit there and play forever, you know. So I'm going to try to ride this roller coaster as long as I can and then try to have things set up to where, like, you know, I've already been looking at, you know, land as well and roping arenas and stuff and trying to get stuff set up to where, like, you know, when I do get done playing and I get on that tail end last 2 years and stuff, I'm already practicing. I can already, you know, get my pro card and everything, jump right into it.
Okay.
So,
and you're getting in the bucking bull business too, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm already in that. Yeah, I'm in that right now with Red Laces Cattle Company with Bo Mills. And I'm working on, you know, eventually trying to buy some more bulls over there as well. But, like, I'm trying to set that up as well where like, you know, I have my own cows at like, my house as well or land on the side. So, like, I mean, I'm already good to go.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Like, people are nervous. And, you know, I'm going to make sure I'm going to be ready for them questions when it's like 13 years after playing. They're going to be like, what are you going to do? I'm like, dude, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Again, we're here with Texas Rangers pitcher and calf roper Taylor Hearn here at the Cowboy Christmas, the Wrangler NFR 2020. All right, Taylor, so let's go through some fan questions. We got some good ones. Good ones.
Let's go.
All right. So just as a comment, somebody wanted to chime in and said your off-speed stuff is amazing. You work on that a lot?
A lot because, dude, that's the bread and butter. That's what's going to keep you in the major leagues. That's going to keep you playing in this game for a long time. So the more you can work on that and keep it crisp, the better. Yeah.
So what is your post-game remedy for soreness and fatigue?
Mark Pro machine. It's like it's a machine I use after every game. It's for like shock. It's like shock pads almost. Mm-hmm. So I use that pretty often. I highly suggest and try to tell people to contrast. Get in those hot and cold tubs. Don't be scared of them. I know it gets cold, but like, hey, that's what keeps a lot of our bodies like fresh. That's what keeps me fresh during the season. Yeah. So that's a huge thing.
Very cool. All right. Might have to look into this later, but somebody asked, are you single?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm as single as they get.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Very cool. What's more important to your game, velocity or control?
Oh,
you throw the ball pretty hard.
Can it be both?
I mean, yeah.
Can it be
of course
both?
It can be.
It has to be.
I mean,
both.
You got to have control.
Yeah, you have to. But I mean,
I guess
the way the game is going now, like, if you're not throwing 95 plus, hitting 95 plus in games, like, you know, it's gonna be hard to make it in baseball because just the way the thing. Like, there's high school kids that are coming up in this draft, every draft. Yeah. These kids are like throwing harder than me when I was in high school. I was somebody that barely that top 91 in high school, and then first year of college hit 95, 96. Yeah. So, that's a tough one because everybody's so locked in on velocity. Yeah. But you know what? It's one of them things where, like, you can't teach. You know, you can teach, I guess, somewhat control, but that comes as you get older. Yeah. So I would say velocity is important early. Yeah. But then as you get older, you can learn how to harness your control.
So I know you're a pitcher, but how do you feel about the direction the game is going more towards, like, everybody looks at analytics and everybody looks at exit velocity and everybody looks at, you know, your angle and all that? Like, you know, what it feels like. Feels like the art of being able to hit a single and get on base and move people around has been lost. Like, what's your take on that?
This is a debate that we have and conversations we've had like numerous years, like all the time. And so it's a touchy subject because you want to agree with it and like it, but it can be very beneficial.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, is to not get like too sucked into it, because at the end of the day, like the analytic part can actually helps guys get paid now.
Yeah.
So if anything, like, do I like it? Yeah, at times, yes. But like sometimes, like, I mean, when we have our meetings and stuff, and they give us our reports, I tell them, just give me certain things. I don't need to know a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, those computers don't know like what these hitters are doing in real life. You know what I'm saying? It's going off of projections.
Yeah. What was your favorite part about Royce City baseball? Like playing baseball in Royce City? Kind of having to translate the question a little bit.
Just having fun with a bunch of the guys. I still ponder on a bunch of the times in high school about just how fast high school went, first off. But, yeah, I mean, just having fun. Yeah. I mean, no, we didn't win, but it was just having fun. That was probably the biggest thing.
Yeah. So, last question, and I'm really interested to hear your take on this. Globe Life. Okay, so, a lot of people are getting their first glimpse of Globe Life for the NFR this year. What do you think about it? I've seen a lot of shows that talk about how they're state-of-the-art facilities, but, as a Texas Ranger, have you gotten to see the transformation into the rodeo arena? And, as a previous rodeo competitor, what do you think about the way that they have it set up, how big it is, stuff like that?
I think it's crazy. I think it's just it's crazy because I've never seen a rodeo arena in a baseball field before, So the first time I see it from up top, or just like when because we work out at the stadium, so when I walk in there and I walk on the dirt and everything, I'm just like, this is crazy. This is weird, But I think it's awesome because for it to be in Texas and at the Rangers ballpark, like, it doesn't get any more Texas than that. I mean, it really doesn't. So just to be able to see it and just to go back and be able to watch the national finals, something that like everybody wants to go to, and then it's in almost like my own backyard almost. So but I loved it. I'm going tonight as well, but it's been fun. I'm glad. Like there's apparently from a couple of the competitors I've talked to as well, like people are loving it. Like they want it back over here and everything because a lot of them are from Texas. So that's something that I hope that maybe will happen, but it's hard to take it away from Vegas. It's very hard to take it away from Vegas.
A lot of money in Vegas.
Oh, a lot, way more than here.
Yeah. Well, Taylor, I've really, really enjoyed having you on. Do you have anything else you'd like to say to your fans, Rangers fans, just in general?
Can't wait to see you guys in 2021. And don't be afraid to come approach me, whether you see me at a roping or at a baseball game as well. And I think also the biggest thing is don't be limited. Don't limit yourself to just one sport.
Yeah. And I can vouch for that. Taylor is an extremely approachable guy, very, very friendly. I've enjoyed getting to know him. Taylor, again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for listening. Follow along with us on social media at Tough Draw and at Tough Draw Talks for more episodes of our podcast as we continue to bring y'all closer to the community. Taylor, what are your social media handles so people can follow along with what you got going on?
So my Instagram is thearn21 and my Twitter is thearn14.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, y'all make sure and follow along with what Taylor's doing and cheer on the Rangers this year. Until next time, everyone, enjoy the ride. We'll talk to you soon.